Hello, everyone. I hope that all of you can hear me pretty well and you can see my slides and my face somewhere on the corner of your computer screens. My name is Laurinas, and today I will present ISM, University of Economics, ISM University of Management and Economics in Vilnius in Lithuania. So I see that some of you have already joined, so I'll try to start, and hopefully some other attendees will join us a little bit later. I do encourage all of you to ask a lot of questions during my presentation. So you do have a chat box in the system, so you could send me a question. I do prefer to get questions in English because I only speak English and, of course, Lithuanian. But if you do feel that you want to ask a question in Russian, so there is a function that translates your question for me to English one. So, you could just drop your message in Russian or in Ukrainian or in any other language that you feel like to. So, but just make sure that you're writing, in an official language with the full sentences and not some short codes for some words, because Google Translate function does not understand some shortened words. So just make sure if you're writing not in English, so write the full sentences, and I will answer those questions. Only in English, sorry. I'll try to answer those here on a presentation, and I will answer majority of our questions at the end of presentation. But if I'll see that some of your questions really fits to the information that I'm currently covering, so I'll try to answer your questions right away on this presentation. So I don't think we have to wait a minute more, because time is money, and we have to start as soon as possible. So I have a presentation today. We do have 1.5 hour slot for this webinar, but I don't think we will need all of this. So I'll try to be as precise as possible, but provide you with all the necessary information about ISM. So about my presentation, about my webinar, so it is constructed out of, let's say, 3 parts maybe. So one part is the general outlook of Lithuania and Vilnius, why you have to choose this destination, why it's a good destination for you, just a general information about the city and the country you might be interested in. Later, I will tell you more about the university itself, about our study programs, and lastly, I will cover the part that is mainly dealing with the admissions procedure, with the scholarship opportunities, and things like that. I see that there is a question: when does the broadcast start? So it's already started, I think. Can you hear me? Like, everybody just type yes or a plus or something on a chat that you can hear me. Somebody, maybe? Okay, I see that someone is typing something on a chat, so okay, I cannot see the messages, but hopefully everything is okay. Yeah, okay, I got a plus. So everything is cool, and we can start now. I'll turn my translation once again. So Lithuania, let's start with this. Let's start with Lithuania as a destination that you might be interested in. So I do believe that all of you know where Lithuania is. You can see us here on map. So we're in the center of Europe, more to the northern part, but more or less in the very center of Europe, because the European geographical center is also located in Lithuania, and it's not so far from Vilnius. So we are really the central Europe. And since you are attending a webinar by a business school, by leading business school, of course, you might be interested in business, economics, management, and fields like that. So Lithuania, in the World Bank's Doing Business report, had 11th, okay, that's strange, had 11th place through all the countries and that were covered in this World Bank Doing Business report. So it's a high place, and this shows that Lithuania is a good place to start and to grow your business, and especially for you who are interested in in business studies and doing business some of the day in your lives. Of course, what is also important, Lithuania is 25th country in the world of quality of life, and since we do have 100 and something countries in the world, so 25th place is a really good one, and it actually shows that overall living situation, living standards in Lithuania, and living quality in Lithuania is a good one. So you feel like a standard, like a normal European citizen here living in Vilnius in Lithuania. Speaking about Vilnius, because ISM is located in the capital of Lithuania, Vilnius, so I will expand more on Vilnius as a destination, not on Lithuania as such. So Vilnius is mentioned as a #1 city by Financial Times in Foreign Direct Investment Attraction Index for technical startups. So I think some of you might know a company called Vinted. There's an app where you could sell your used clothes and some of your stuff. Not actually. Okay, so Google for it. You will be impressed. That is, it is one of the most successful technical startups created in Vilnius. They are expanding enormously. I don't know. I would say every day they are expanding at least a bit through all the world. So just Google for Vinted. I can just type the exact name on a chat, so try to look for that. Of course, there are many more companies. There is Tesonet, there is I don't know, Kilo Health, and I could name a lot of those technical startups that are located in Vilnius. So what is needed to start a new company and a technical startup? Of course, business knowledge and some technological knowledge and some programming skills and things like that. And all of those things you can learn here on ISM, because majority of those largest startups and most successful startups owners are the graduates from ISM University of Management and Economics. Continuing with Vilnius, I have some facts, some statistic. So Vilnius, surprisingly, is the #1 capital city in Europe with the cleanest air, because we do have a lot of parks, a lot of trees everywhere. Vilnius is a really green city, and according to European Green City Index, it's the #1 capital in the Europe breathing the cleanest air. Of course, Vilnius is also a city offering the fastest public Wi-Fi in the world, and I have to mention that this Wi-Fi network is also free of charge in absolute majority of places of Vilnius. And in general, internet speed in Lithuania is one of the fastest in the world. We used to be the #1 country for quite some time. I think Singapore took over the first place, and Lithuania is currently in a second place about the internet speed, but still, it is the fastest internet that you can get in Europe, at least. Lithuania and Vilnius also is 5th country in Europe with the happiest employees, and that shows that Lithuania is a really good place not only to study, but also to live, to work, to have friends, and to start your individual life after high school, after bachelor studies if you're interested in masters more. So Vilnius is a good place to come and to live and to start your life. And of course, one more thing, that we are a top 6 city for the best work-life balance globally, and it is according to OECD Better Life Index. So it also shows that that Vilnius is a good destination, not only for studies. And I don't want to present Vilnius as a destination that you have to come to study and then go somewhere else. It's a good place for you, to live, to start your company, to work in various international companies, and live the best life. Since this webinar is primarily for Ukrainian market, I do believe that we can have somebody from Moldova, Belarus, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, because organizers informed me that there could be, somebody from those countries as well, but primarily it is for Ukraine. So I just included that Vilnius is very easily reachable for Ukrainian students, because before the Corona thing, we used to have flight destinations from 5 Ukrainian cities directly to Vilnius. And let's say for Kiev, we had almost 2 flights every day. So, it is a pretty easy. Those flights are cheap ones. And the flight duration is about 1 hour, sometimes 1 hour and 10 minutes, depending on a city. When I went to Kiev, so it only took for me, I think, 55 minutes. So, you're just getting up and and then you're already starting to land. So, it's a pretty fast flight, pretty cheap flight, and pretty easy for you, to come to study, to then get back for holidays to visit your family, or for your family members to come to visit to you in Lithuania. So I do hope that we will have all those 5 cities when Corona thing will end, because I think for now we only have Kiev, but aviation have stopped in everywhere. So it is only Kiev for now, but let's say for the upcoming September, when your studies will start, we will have all those 5 flights back, hopefully. And of course, what is the most important, about at first picking the destination or the university as such, is the cost of living in Vilnius. So I was mentioning the internet speed, but I would also like to mention the monthly cost of high-speed internet. So, and I have comparisons with the United Kingdom and with the Denmark, so you can see those on your slide. So typical on average monthly internet cost is €9.60. For example, I am paying only €6 because I'm still a student at ISM also. So, I'm only paying €6 because there are so many discounts for students. Typical business lunch costs €7 in a good place in the old town. If you would go to, just a standard cafeteria, not in the very heart of a city, it would be €4 or €5. So, it's a pretty cheap. Comparing to other cities in Europe, and especially with the Denmark or with the United Kingdom, the prices are 3 times lower. Typical rent price for 1-room flat in a city center is about €500. And if you would live, I don't know, somewhere a little bit further from, the city center, that you have to take a bus to university because university is located in the old town, it would be 300, sometimes €400 per month for 1 or 2 rooms flat, a kind of nice one. And in comparison, in United Kingdom or in Denmark, it would be more than 1,000, almost €2,000. If you are interested in buying a flat, so in the city center, 2-room flat is, for now, it is around €100,000, but it's still way cheaper than in any other European capital. And the monthly public transportation ticket price, for now, it is €29 to buy a monthly ticket. But since you'll be students, you will only have to pay €5.79, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't have the monthly public transportation ticket for now, but when I used to have it, it was €5.79. So let's say €6 per month for your travels from any point in Vilnius to anywhere. So it's a pretty cheap and also a pretty nice city to come and to study and to live. Okay, about migration requirements. Of course, it is also an important thing. So most likely you will need to get a visa. It's not it's not so hard as it could look like, because Lithuania is a country that pretty. Okay, I don't know why my slides keep switching, but sorry for that. So it is not so hard to get a visa, but what is the most important thing for you when you'll get that, when you will start your studies? So we do have some changes in our migration law from March 1st. So it's only 11 days when we do have those changes. So our bachelor students, if you are interested in bachelors, while studying, they will be allowed to work 20 hours per week. So it is a part-time, and I don't think it would be even possible to work full-time with the full-time studies at the same time. I used to work for 30 hours per week when I was bachelor student, and it was pretty hard. So 20 hours is a really normal thing. And when there is a holidays, summer holidays, or there is a break between semesters, the autumn semester and the spring semester, So you can work 40 hours per week, and it's 40 hours is a standard thing in Lithuania, standard work week. What is new? Our master students will be allowed to work full-time, 40 hours per week while they are studying. And at ISM, we do have all our master study classes taught only on the evenings after job. Those classes are still full-time, but we're managing our curriculum to fit the requirements, for a full-time studies, but we're only having classes at the evenings. So you would be able to work full-time from 8 till 5. That is a common thing, in Lithuania. And if we do have somebody interested in doctoral PhD studies, you can work also 40 hours per week. After you will graduate, you will get a permit to live up to 1 year. During that 1 year, you need to look for a job. And if you will find a job, and I'm totally sure that you will be able to, to extend your residency permit and live for as long as you need, for as long as you do have a job. But, there is no such a thing that you've graduated from a university and you have to go back. No, you still have 1 year, to try some various places, to try some jobs, and then, decide to whether you're staying in Lithuania and starting your professional career here, or you're moving to, to your home country or to a totally different country. So those would be, the major things about migration. And of course, you could read more information on our migration department website, migracija.lt, or there is a website, students.workinlithuania.lt/migration. It's a pretty long one, but there is a pretty good information and pretty easy to understand information for students who wants to, come to Lithuania and to study here and to work here as well. So I'm mostly that's mostly it from my part about Vilnius and Lithuania as a destination. Maybe you do have some questions. I don't see any of those questions on a chat so far, but if you do have, don't forget to ask those. Okay, so hopefully you don't have any. I'll just have a sip of water and we can continue. Okay, so hopefully everything is more or less clear about Lithuania, about Vilnius, and you already love the destination, and the only concern for you is to pick the right university, and I will tell you more about the right university. So, ISM, University of Management and Economics, is #1 business university in Lithuania, and for I don't know how many years in the ranking magazines, we're always listed as a #1 institution. As a #1 institution for business, economics, management, marketing, and finance study fields. So those are the only fields that we do have studies. So we are the #1 university in everything that we are doing. We were established almost 22 years ago by BI, Norwegian Business School. And I'm not sure if you are familiar with BI, but BI Business School is the second largest business university in Europe. One of the best, I would also say, in Europe, one of the best known, and they have all the possible business school accreditations, and they are among 100 best business schools in the world. So they are always monitoring all our activities. We do have a lot of professors coming from BI to teach here at ISM. So it's a pretty smart way for you if you want to go and get a good Scandinavian education for a better price. So ISM is the place. And also, as a university in Lithuania, we do have the highest evaluation also. So we do have 4 palms from EDUNIVERSAL business school ranking. So none of Lithuanian institutions have something like that, and we are a member of AACSB Business Schools Network, so it is also quite an achievement. I do see that we do have a question about PhD. While studying in PhD, is it possible to apply for a residency permit in Lithuania? Yes, it is, and you will get most likely the residency permit in Lithuania if you're accepted for PhD studies in Lithuania, and you'll be able to work full time. Okay, getting back to my presentation. Here on a corner, you can see our campus. We are located in a historical building in the city center of Vilnius, nearby the city hall. So, you know, it is probably the best place that you can find, because we are in the very heart of Vilnius. We are in the very city center. Okay, moving on to our faculty and to our culture. I would like to mention that 42% of our professors are international faculty, are international lecturers, and they are typically from the best known universities in the world: Oxford, Harvard, New York University, St. Andrews, Illinois Technology University, and various more places, of course, from BI, Norwegian Business School as well. And even the local ones, even Lithuanian ones, are also the graduate from the best known universities as well. So I've listed, you know, those universities in that order because we do have most of our professors from Oxford coming to teach here at ISM. So, you know, we can ensure you a really high quality, the best quality that you can get in Lithuania. And we also do have Scandinavian culture because of our parental university BI. Our professors are always, you know, they're treating you as your colleagues. There is no, you know, such a way and such an approach that professor knows everything. They will teach you, and you have to learn everything, and that's it. So it is pretty common for our students and professors to come to the bar together to discuss several topics, to meet sometimes. You know, they are sometimes just sitting on the lobby of ISM, and they are discussing various things. They're writing and articles together. I remember one of my classmates that is currently studying at Oxford University, together with my program director. They were writing scientific articles from the third year of our studies, I think, and those articles were published in the best known magazines. You know, so it's a pretty common case at ISM, and our professors seeing you as their colleagues and not as, you know, the ones that needs to be taught. So it's a pretty nice approach and pretty nice standard of ISM. What else about our classes, about our teaching methods? So our university has a close partnership with various international companies and national companies as well. So we do have a lot of business partners. So a lot of businesses are paying for our for the studies of the best applicants at ISM. We do have ISM fund, and we do have many companies that are paying for the studies of our best students, and they do not expect anything in return. Those students do not have to work in their companies for some time or anything like that. They're just paying for the best applicants. And this close partnership allows us to have modern teaching methods at our classes. It is pretty common case and typical case to have a guest lecturer coming to ISM to teach some, you know, specific courses or just some specific topics in a course. We do have a lot of real business cases during our classes, because let's say Microsoft is dealing with some kind of problem or with, you know, some kind of issue in their Lithuanian office and in their Lithuanian branch, and their regional manager just sends a question to one of our lecturers, and our students are discussing this question during the lecture based on a topic and the content they have just covered. So, you know, it allows us to have problem-based learning, and then in our classrooms we're solving the real business problems, real cases, not the imaginary ones from the textbooks, but the real cases that real businesses are facing today and not, you know, 20 years ago. We also do have the best students in Lithuania because we're always listed as a #1. So only the best students are always picking ISM as their study destination. So we do have the highest competitive score out of all universities in Lithuania. And by competitive score, I mean this entering score, you know, for bachelor studies. And 98% of our alumni are recommending this university and studies and to study at ISM. So we do believe it is also an important thing to mention. Okay, I see that we do have 2 questions. Okay, I will answer those a little bit later. when we will approach things like that. Okay, and I do encourage all of you to write your questions here on a chat, because I'll cover all of those at the end of this presentation. What else is important? So, of course, everybody wants to travel while studying, wants to explore other cultures, wants to meet new people, wants to have different thoughts and different insights on various topics in businesses, in economic studies and management studies. And of course, exchange is an important part of our studies as well. We do have 106 partner universities in 46 countries. So we do have partners in every continent except Antarctica, because there is no university in there. But in every continent, we do have at least 2 in each. So I think we only have 2 in Australia, but the 2 best universities in Australia. And 17% of our partner of 106 universities have the highest possible so-called Triple Crown accreditation. I was mentioning that BI, our parental university, has the highest possible accreditations. So this Triple Crown accreditation is the highest that a business school can get. So there are 3 institutions in the world that do accreditation for business schools, and 17% of our partners has accreditations from all those 3. Additional 31% of our partners has at least 1 or 2 out of those 3 accreditations. So it also means that even having a 1 is such a hard task and such a hard thing to get that 1. So of course it shows that all our partners are only the best quality institutions in the world. And I'm not sure if you are familiar with the term double degree, but ISM has 7 double degree partners. And what is that double degree? So double degree is a possibility to study for 1 study period. Let's say typical bachelor studies at ISM last for 3.5 years. So double degree possibility is a thing that allows you to study for those 3.5 years, but get diplomas from 2 universities, from ISM and from one other university. So we do have 7 partners. So of course we do have BI as our parental university, and we do have other partners. Absolute majority of them are in the Europe, so it is France, Sweden, the Netherlands, or Norway. And we do have Illinois Institute of Technology in the United States as our double degree partner. And this means that you are able, to study one part of your time. It's typically 2 or 3 years at ISM, and have your remaining studies at our partner university. And after that, you will get 2 diplomas from ISM and from a different university, but you'll be only studying for the one specific period. You'll be only writing 1 bachelor or master thesis. So, everything is a pretty easy, pretty clear, but you're getting 2 diplomas. And of course, it is a nice thing to mention on your resume, on your CV. And speaking about our programs. So at first, I would like to start with bachelors. I will present the bachelor programs, our program directors, and then I'll move to master programs. So if you will have some questions regarding programs, don't hesitate to ask here on a chat. So speaking about our programs, we do have, let's start with economics. We do have 2 economics programs. So one is economics and politics, and another one is economics and data analytics. So we don't have a classical and typical economics program, because we do feel that a student needs to get a lot of knowledge in a field, but also that student needs to get an additional understanding how something works and how to use that knowledge. So for economics, for students that are interested in economics, we are offering either to choose data analytics as their additional subject, because of course majority of your studies will be economics, but you will also have some data analytics courses included in your curricula, and this allows you to be a really good analyst, data analyst or data scientist. Or you could choose economics and politics if you are more interested in being a consultant, working in various consulting companies, being a politician, or you just want to understand how everything goes and why countries, or I don't know, municipalities are making sometimes such a stupid decisions, while they do understand that it would be economically better to choose one thing, but they're choosing another thing. So this political part in this program allows you to understand why people are making sometimes such a strange decisions. So so you'll get a pretty good knowledge of economics, and also you'll get some additional skills. So it's either data analytics or politics. We also have two business programs. So one is international business and communication, and the other one is business management and marketing. So also business part is more or less the same. In the first program, it is more oriented towards international businesses and large companies, how to grow those. Business management program is primarily for establishing your own business or creating your own, and is mainly for smaller companies and not so international ones. And of course, there is an additional part. It's either communication or marketing. So if you're interested in marketing in national companies and growing a business from a small one to a big one, business management and marketing is the one for you. And if you're interested in working in a large international company such as, I don't know, Uber or Google or Microsoft or Coca-Cola or something like that, so international business and communication is the one for you. We also do have finance program. So it is primarily created for those who wants to be auditors, accountants, financial advisors, financial analysts. And this program is not, typically students are asking, why don't you have auditing and accounting or something like that? Because in this program, you'll be allowed to be auditor, accountant, and also finance analyst, finance controller, and many more, things related to finance field. So this program is a broader one, and you learn way more than in a very specific one. Sorry, I'll take a sip of water. And the last out of our 6 international bachelor's program is industrial technology management. And this program is created together with Illinois Institute of Technology. So they do have the same program in the United States. And this program is primarily for those who, let's say, have interest in engineering, in computer science, maybe in programming, but they don't want to do that. Like they have interest in physics. Let's say they are interested in engineering, but they don't want to be engineers. So this program is for those who wants to run a company like this, who wants to be a head of engineering company or a computer science company, who wants to be the CEO of I don't know, manufacturing companies and things like that. So it's a management program, but it's especially for those who are interested in engineering and in computer science and things like that. Yes, and there is a list of our program directors. So each of those guys have one program, and Monica, she is responsible for 2 programs. So for industrial technology management, the one with the Illinois Institute of Technology, and she's also the program director for business management and marketing. All our study programs are fully in English, and the duration of all our studies are 3.5 years. And if you would be interested in going for double degree programs, sometimes the duration extends to 4 years. So in some cases, not in every case, sometimes the duration remains 3.5 years, but we do have some cases when duration extends from 3.5 to 4 years, additional half of the year for additional diploma. So not so much of a loss. Okay, so some questions, I'm just reading those. Okay, so still we will cover those a little bit later, but please do ask those while I'm talking. Now we're moving to masters. We do have 3 master programs. So those programs are more or less similar to our bachelor programs in their topics, let's say. So let's start with the one on the right, Innovation and Technology Management, that is created with Nagoya University of Commerce and Business in Japan. So this program is something like continuation of industrial technology management program. It is also created for those who are interested in engineering and computer science, and sometimes students, graduate their bachelors from engineering, let's say, and they do realize that they don't want to be an engineer, but they do want to, run a company that is dealing with, building and construction, let's say. So they do need the managerial skills, and then after that they are applying for this program. This program is unique because it includes a trip to Japan in the curricula. It's a 10 days trip when they are studying at Nagoya University, and then they do have visits to Toyota and one more company. I cannot remember it, but it's also one, of those known companies, of manufacturing companies in Japan. We also do have financial economics program that is for those who are more into finance, into economics. Let's say they are graduates of finance program. They are good finance analysts, but they want, a broader perspective and broader understanding about everything. So those students are picking financial economics program. And we do have international marketing and management. So it's primarily for those who are interested in business, in how to grow business, how to do marketing, how to increase and boost the sales of a company. So marketing program is the one for them. All our master programs are also fully in English, and the duration for those programs differs from 1.5 years to 2 years. So the program that I've covered, the first one, Innovations and Technology Management, is 1.5 years, and marketing one and financial economics one are 2 years of a duration. So you can see the program directors here. So Luneta is responsible for marketing program, Tomoyuki is responsible for a financial economics program, and he's a graduate of Oxford University. And Vida is responsible for innovations and technology management study program. And moving to the most important part, some career statistics about our alumni. So we do have official statistics of our alumni because there's a company in Lithuania, so-called Strata. They are dealing with all the data about science and education institutions in Lithuania. And according to their statistics, ISM graduates are getting on average 20% more than other Lithuanian university graduates. So if you are thinking about studying business in one of, or economics or finance or wherever, in one of the Lithuanian universities, so you must choose ISM, because after all, you'll earn more, even though our prices are a little bit higher than the typical prices of other Lithuanian universities. But the average salary is also higher, and this 20% is calculated for bachelor students, bachelor graduates. If you will graduate from master studies, the difference is 80%. So typically ISM master graduates are earning on average 80% more than other Lithuanian university graduates from the same field, So we're not comparing economists and nurses. We're comparing economists and economists from different institutions. So we're comparing their salaries. On an average, those are 20% more for bachelor graduates and 80% more for master. 60% of our students starts their professional career while still at university. And the 60% is calculated, of course, for bachelors as well, at the beginning of their second year. So meaning that after 1 year of studies, 60% of our students are already working. And they are not, just taking some internships. They are actually working in various companies. And it is an important part because our university encourage working while studying, that because in that case, you are able to, get both practical and theoretical knowledge about everything in business or economics field. And 98% of our alumni work in their degree field. It's one of the highest, and I think it is the highest percentage out of all Lithuanian universities as well. We are conducting a survey of our alumni after 2 years of their graduation, and then we are asking whether you're working in your degree field or in a totally different one. So 98% says that they work in their degree field, and every third indicates that they do have their own business. They have a startup, they do have some smaller businesses, somebody have a pretty large business, but every third has his own company and created a job place for himself. So it's also important thing. And speaking about companies that are typically employers of our students, so I've listed some of those. Majority of those companies are, of course, international ones. There are some local ones as well, but I just listed Moody's. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this name. It is the largest, let's say, evaluation company. They're doing credit evaluations and things like that. I do believe that you are familiar with Telia, with maybe Tele2 companies. There are a lot of banks, not some. Danske Bank, Luminor, SEB Bank, Swedbank. So every bank that is located in Lithuania is the employer of ISM students. We do have a lot of our students working in Coca-Cola, in Western Union, in Ernst Young company. So there's a lot of companies that wants to have ISM graduates as their employees. But of course, not only work and study is important. We do have a lot of student activities as well. So currently we do have 12 student clubs. So I've listed some of those, like a marketing club, debate club, student association, open lectures club, some of the events as Creative Shock, and also some more clubs: investors, politics, basketball, and golf club. On a slide, there's way more. And what is the most important thing? Students at ISM are allowed to create their own club if they do have an interest and they want to. So you just have to approach our career center and just say that I want to create my own club that is, I don't know, let's say some kind of ecologist club. For you want to have some initiatives and some events about ecology, about sustainability, and things like that. So our career center will help you to find students that would be interested in that. They will help you to prepare all the necessary documentation and things like that. And boom, you're having your own club at ISM. So we're always trying to have students' initiative in that. And what is more, so we do have one club that is run by our president, by Dalius Misiūnas, president of ISM. So there's a CEO club for those who wants to be the heads of the largest companies, because our university president was the head of the largest company in Lithuania for quite some time. So he's not just a standard academical person. He's a typically business person who runs the university. And by thus, we do have the CEO club, and our president is sharing the knowledge and some insightful facts and some good things with our students about how to become a CEO of a large company. So that's it from my second part about university. So I'll answer some of your questions. So do have so just type some of your questions on chat. I'll try to answer those, and for now I'll answer those who are already on the chat. So the first question is, will university help to find part-time job while studying? So yes, of course, we will help you. We cannot guarantee that you will get a job because it's typically a thing you have to do by yourself, but our university has a strong career center. We will help you to prepare your motivational letter, your CV. We will help you to prepare for a job interview. We will also share a lot of job advertisements with you, so you'd be able, to apply for some of the open vacancies. But of course, everything depends on yourself, and you have to, show to the company why are you the best applicant for them. But as a university, we're doing a lot for you to, to help to start working while studying. What are the costs of study for master's degree, and are there any scholarships? So yeah, I will cover that a little bit later when we will speak about scholarships and about the admission procedures. But yeah, we do have scholarships, and the prices are a bit different for all the programs. How are, I think this one is translated, so I'll try to understand it. How simulations work in practice in the learning process? Read about this on a site. So simulations, I think you are talking about internship possibilities, not about simulations as a such. So if it is about internships, so our career center helps you to find an internship place where you will do your 3 months, I think, internship, and where you will be employed and start your professional career if you haven't done that already. And we also have some simulations, real simulations in our classes. So sometimes, let's say I am the graduate from economics and politics program, so I could tell you more about political simulations that we used to have. We used to simulate European Parliament work. We do have roles assigned for each of my course mates, and we do have to simulate the work of European Parliament. I do know that in the business studies they do simulate the real companies. They do have few months projects to start their own business, to run it, and it is evaluated, and it is part of their studying process. So we do have a lot of that as well. But in each subject it is different. Sometimes in, let's say, electronic commerce course for marketing program, they do have to create their own online shop and try to make everything, the CEO things, the marketing things, to make everything like a real and normal shop, and try to attract some of the buyers. So we do have that. We do have this simulations like project coursework. Yeah, it's like a project coursework. So in some of the courses they do have simulations as part of their final score and final graduation, not graduation, of their final evaluation. So they do have exams, let's say, from that specific subject, but they also do have real simulations in the classrooms, and they are having a grade for that simulation as well. What are the age restrictions for master's degree? Well, there is no. So you could. There is only one requirement, to have bachelor's degree, properly recognized bachelor's degree, but there's no age restrictions. So you could be, I don't know, 70 years old and still apply for master's degree if you feel like. So there's nothing like that. Okay, so we do see that. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. So if you do have more questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I will continue with the admissions part to our university. So as you can see on your screen, we have two admission periods. One is so-called early admission, and the second one is main admission. The early admission has already started, and it's almost 1.5 months have passed. So half of this early admission period have already passed, and the second half still ongoing. So you are still able to apply during the early admission, and of course after that we will have main admission. But I do recommend for all of you who are interested to apply during early admission, because we do have a lot of benefits for those who are applying for the early admission period. Because there's a saying, early bird gets the worm. So it is the same with the applicants as well. So now I will tell you more about the benefits and about the scholarships for bachelor students. When I'll cover that, I'll move to master students. So just pay attention to the study level that is relevant for you, and try to do not mix up. I'll try to be as precise as possible, but try to not to mix up. At first it is bachelor's, and then it is master's. So for bachelor's, I've listed some of things that is important and what are the differences when applying when you're applying during early admission. So at first, there are more chances to get a scholarship because we do have several scholarships that are issued only for early applicants. Also, we do have more scholarships issued for early applicants. Not only some, that is specifically only for early applicants, but we do have more of our overall scholarships issued only for those who apply early. So typically 60% of our all scholarships are issued only for early applicants, and the remaining 40% are for the applicants that apply during the main admission. So when you are applying during early admission, there are more chances for getting a scholarship. What is more important, your competitive score will consist of 50% of your average grades and another 50% of your motivation evaluation. And this is only for early admission period, because after that, we will only take a look at your exam scores for your school grades. And for motivation, you'll be able to get an additional point, but that won't be 50% of your overall motivation, of your overall competitive score. What else? Of course, more chances. Number of seats and number of places in our classrooms are limited. So, it is also important, to apply during early admission, because there are more chances just for getting in. And from this year, we will have an additional benefit. We will have study visits in prestigious companies. So during the first year of your studies, in the first semester, I think, on October or on November, I'm not sure. It really depends on our study department, how they will arrange it. But during the first semester, you will have a study visits to Microsoft, Revolut, Moody's, Nestle, Coca-Cola, I think, and some more companies. It will be included in your curricula, and you will study for some time, and then you will have 2 weeks of study visits to various companies where you will meet the HR departments, the CEOs, the marketing department directors, and various other professionals in their field in the largest companies. So of course, this will be organized only for those who apply during early admission, and if you will be enrolled during main admission, so you'll just have a empty week of studies. So it is more important to apply during early admission. Speaking about admissions formula, so as I've mentioned, 50% is motivation evaluation. So you have to write a letter, and then you have to attend the motivational interview. So that's one part. Another part is the average grades from last 1.5 years of your high school. So I do believe that there is somebody who already graduated from high school and wants to start bachelor studies, but absolute majority of you, I do believe that are still in school and you don't have your high school diploma yet. So and you won't have it until the May 1st. So we will need the average grades from your school. There's just a standard form that needs to be signed by the school principal. And we will take a look at your mathematics grade, English grade, and one more grade that could be history, geography, computer science, foreign language, or biology. We will calculate those, and out of those 2 parts, we will have your competitive score. So it is pretty easy, I think. And speaking about scholarships, we do have plenty of those for bachelors. So at first, we do have 100 talent scholarship. So it is the scholarship that covers the full price of your studies. It is issued for those who are the best applicants. We don't have many of those 100% scholarships, but if you do feel that you are one of the brightest students in your class with one of the highest grades, and you are motivated, then you will get a pretty high motivation evaluation. So there is a pretty big chance for you getting 100% discount for your studies. If you are a brilliant student as well, but sometimes you are lacking some of the points still to get the highest possible grade, there is a possibility to get 50% scholarship. So those will be issued for some of the best applicants as well, but we'll be issuing at first 100% scholarships, and then for the remaining ones, we will be issuing 50% scholarships. There is 20% scholarship also, and this scholarship is only for early applicants. So even there could be, a better applicant during main admission. I'm talking about the competitive score. So when we are comparing, that could be an applicant with a higher competitive score during main admission, but those 25% scholarships will be issued only for early applicants, and main admission applicants won't be able to get it. So it's also important to try to get at least 25% scholarship. We do have diaspora scholarship that is especially for students with Lithuanian roots, so it also covers 100% of the tuition fees. It's not for everybody, it's also for the best applicants with the highest competitive scores, but we do have several specific scholarships only for students with Lithuanian roots. We also do have best applicant scholarships that are only for students from Latvia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Georgia. So let's say we had 100 talents scholarship, and this one is more or less the same, but we do have several places and several scholarships only for applicants from those countries. So it could be that we will have, let's say, 10 scholarships that is for the best applicants, and all those 10 scholarships will be taken by, I don't know, German students. So we do have an ensurement that at least several best students and best applicants from Latvia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Georgia will get 100% scholarship also. And even though you are not getting any of those scholarships, let's say you're in a situation when you're not getting any of those, there's a possibility to get achievement scholarship while you are studying. So if your grades at a university will be one of the highest, there is also a possibility to get a scholarship that covers 25% of annual tuition fees for the upcoming semester, for the upcoming year. So, even if you're not getting the scholarship right away, when you are applying, there is a chance to get a scholarship while you are studying. So that's basically it from bachelors. I see 2 questions, just a second. What is the approximate competition for a studying place during admission? That's a good question. It really depends and differs each year. I would say it's not so much during early admission, and we do encourage you, to apply during early admission because we don't have so many applicants as we would love to. So during early admission, it is 2 students to 1 place, and during the main admission, I would say there is 3 students to 1 place. So we are able to accept, more, but typically the acceptance rate is around 50%, sometimes 60%. It depends on a year and depends on a quality. We are able, to have a little bit more students than we have planned if all of their grades, are pretty high ones. Is the competition and scholarship system different for Lithuanians and foreign students? A little bit. You are on a different competitive lists, because we do have one list for Lithuanians and another list for foreign students, and I would say foreign students are in a bit better situation because we do have more scholarships for international students rather than for Lithuanians. So yeah, you are kind of lucky. You are in a different in a different list, but yeah, the Lithuanians also have achievement scholarship, 25%, 50%, and 100 talent scholarships. They do not have the diaspora scholarship and the best applicant for a country scholarship, but yeah, scholarships are the same, but the quantities of those scholarships are a bit different. And this year we're calculating that absolute majority of our bachelor's applicants will get any of those scholarships. Some of those applicants will get 25%, some of those will get 50 or 100%, but absolute majority will get something, and it's not the case with the Lithuanians. Okay, so if we don't have more questions, I am continuing with masters. So time for master application is more or less the same. Oh, I forgot to mention with bachelor's, so, and this applies for masters as well. So during early admission, there is free application. It's typically 80 euros application fee. But for students and for applicants from European Union, European Economic Area, Commonwealth of Independent States, and Eastern Partnership countries, so Ukraine, Belarus, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, I think, and many more countries falls into that list. So there is a free application for you. So, you just create your applicant's account and upload the documents, and that's it. Also, why it is important, for master and for bachelor students as well, to apply earlier, because you can ensure timely completion of all procedures with visa, with housing, with travel, and things like that, because it's a time-consuming things. And we do have 50% scholarships for the best applicants, only for the best applicants from early admission period. And also there is Lithuanian state scholarships by Study in Lithuania agency. So those are only issued for the early applicants, because the deadline for those scholarships is May 7th. So so we do have be a pretty fast ones if we want to get the Lithuanian state scholarship. We do have 3 different levels of scholarships for masters. So it is less than for bachelors. So there is a 30% scholarship, there is a 50%, and as I've mentioned, 50% are only for early applicants. And there is a state scholarship that covers 3,989 euros, almost 4,000 euros per year. And in comparison, our master studies costs 9,900 euros for all master. So it depends, on a program. If your program is 2 years, so 1 year costs 4,450 euros. So you have to pay only the difference, that is less than 500 euros per year. If you are applying for innovations and technology management, so the duration is 1.5 years, and you have to divide this 9,900 into 1.5. So the price is 6,600 euros per year. So you have to cover the remaining part by yourself. But of course, the major part is covered by Lithuanian government as well. So that's basically it from master. So I'll be waiting for your questions, and I can see one already. What is the most common reason for withdrawal? Okay. I'm not sure if I get your question correctly. But by withdrawal, you mean the ones that they are applying and then deciding not to come to study. Am I right? If yes, just, type yes on a chat. Because I want to answer. Oh, exam failure. Okay. So you mean when you are studying already, not about the application procedure, but what's the most common, okay, while you're studying? Well, the most common thing why are failing exams and such a things, and then you're expelled from a university, is that you're not motivated enough. So typically our university is not the one that always expelling all the students and just not supporting them. We're typically trying to support all of our students because, of course, somebody learns everything pretty fast and pretty easily. Some of the students needs more support. So we do have a lot of consultations. Our professors are always available through email, through various other ways of communication. So we're always trying to help all our students. But the main reason is typically motivation, because from our side we are doing everything to help a student to achieve more, to pass all the exams, and to write a good bachelor's or master thesis. But yeah, we do have some withdrawals, some expelled students at ISM, but it's typically because they have too many failed exams and they are not doing anything. about those, because if a student, I don't know, failed some of those exams, we can arrange an individual timetable. We can expand and extend, the duration of a studies from 3.5 to, let's say, 5 years or even 6 years, to have more, less intensive way of, studying, and to have slower learning, to be able to pass all the exams. But student has to do a lot of by himself as well, and if we don't see that, then we are just, canceling the study contract. So those could be the main reasons, but it's not the typical case. We're always trying to save a student, and we are always trying, to help for a student to succeed in what a student wants to. So, okay. So one of the last slides from my side. So start asking your questions on a chat. I'll be answering those in a few minutes. So I just wanted, to emphasize that our admission has already started. The link for admission is a pretty easy one, my.ism.lt. You just have to register here and pick either you're interested in bachelor studies or in master studies. And then you have to, pick the study program that is the most interesting for you, and upload the documents. So what are the documents? So at first, there is motivational letter for every program and every level, both bachelor's and master's. Sorry, too much speaking today. So you have to write a motivational letter and upload it. Also, we need your bachelor's diploma of a transcript of your grades. When you're applying for master studies, and when you're applying for bachelor studies, we need your high school diploma or the transcript of your grades as well. We also need copy of your passport, your photo. There is a form that you need to fill in, proof of adequate financial resources, where you are signing that I'll be able to cover all my living and studying expenses. It's just a formality. Application fee receipt for those who are applying during main admission, and for now, there is no application fee. And of course, international English exam certificate. So it could be IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge exam, PT exam, language cert exam, or any other international exam. Or we do have agreement with examination center in Lithuania, so you could take ISM English test that is held online. It's 2 hours, and it's typically easier one than IELTS or something like that. So unless your studies, if you're applying, let's say, for a master's, your previous studies were in English, so there's no need, for this international English exam, or you are studying in international high school where all your lessons are taught in English, so then there is no need to upload the international English certificate as well. So that's basically it. You're uploading those things. Then after some time, we will invite you to participate in a motivational interview, and that's it. And at the beginning of May, you're getting the acceptance letter for a university, and we'll be waiting for you at ISM from September 1st. So that's basically it. It's pretty easy. Okay, so now I will try to answer all your questions. One step ahead is ISM slogan and ISM strategy. So as an institution, we're always trying to be one step ahead in every decision that we're making. We want to be progress makers, and we want to have some changes in everything. So we encourage you to be one step ahead in every decision that you're doing as well. So I can see one question. Can we take a break if there is no money for the second year tuition? Yes, you can take a break. There is an academic leave for 1 year, so you could do that, but just have in mind that you are able to work full time while studying. So, it's a pretty easy for you to work, to study, and to cover all your expenses, living expenses, because you're studying and working in Lithuania, so you're getting a Lithuanian salary, and that is typically enough to cover for your tuition fees as well. So there is typically no need to have a break, but there is such a possibility if you need that one. I remember that I've skipped one question. Oh, no, I answered that. Cost of study for masters and scholarship. So I've covered that in my presentation. Okay, so if you do have more questions, just drop those on a chat. I cannot see anybody typing, so I do believe that I've covered more or less everything. I'll just send my email here on a chat. So if you will do have questions, some specific ones, just drop me a letter. We can arrange one-on-one consultation with me, and we can discuss all your questions regarding studies and all your personal matters about studying at ISM. So just drop me a message. It's a pretty easy one. Just type that I was participating in Education Abroad virtual fair and I have some questions. Can we have a meeting? That's it. And we will arrange a meeting with you through Microsoft Teams or WhatsApp, what is the more convenient way for you. And super sorry for my voice. I was speaking too much today, so I have to drink a lot of water. So okay, I don't see any more questions right away. So thank you for participating. I hope I was clear, and I hope that I'll see at least half of you at ISM from September 1st. So don't hesitate to have a consultation, one-on-one consultation with me. I'd love to tell you more, and I'd love to answer all your questions. So thank you for participating, and have the nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.